Good evening. My name is the Reverend Dr Greg Gray, and welcome to Enfield United Church of Christ for our third season of Faith Exchanges. Whenever we get these started and I open this session, I always talk about why a faith exchange and why in this church and that kind of thing. I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm not going to spend my time on doing that. If you want to know more about a faith exchange, you've never seen one in the past, you don't know what happens here, you can go back and see our old ones, or you can look at the church's website, enfielducc.org/fx. Tonight, I have a different statement that I want to make. We started this 3 years ago. This is our third season. And when we started, I went out of my way. I bent over backwards to make certain that every candidate was super happy. That they called and said, these are the questions that you can ask and these are the questions that you can't ask. And I talked to people multiple times a day in order to make certain that nobody was going to back out. That was real irksome. Real tiring. So last year, we had our faith exchanges, and you will notice the candidates that decided that they did not want to participate. So, this year, I decided that we are not going to do that the invitations have been sent out, and we are going to have faith exchanges regardless of who shows up. I mean, I hope at least one candidate shows up, or else it's just going to be me up here by myself. But, that's fine too. I'll get paid to talk around here. So I want to tell you something. Here is my confession to you. They say that confession is good for the soul, so here it comes. I am a registered Democrat. I have given money to many Democrat campaigns. I have given money to Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation. I have given money to Barack Obama. I have given money to Pete Buttigieg, who is still my favorite because he's smart and cute. I have given money to the Matt Despard campaign. I've given money to the Cindy Mangini campaign. I have given money to the Enfield Democratic Town Committee. And this year, I have bought 2 tickets to a barbecue. And I can do that as an individual because I am a person and a private citizen. In this job, as pastor of this church, I have made the commitment to my congregation, to myself, to all parties involved, that I will never, as Enfield Congregational United Church of Christ, or as the Reverend Dr Greg Gray, make an endorsement of any candidate, Democrat or Republican or whatever our third parties might be at the time. Because that's not the way that this is supposed to work. And so it makes me disappointed that there are candidates, and one party in particular, who would say that I am not professional in doing these events. Because I have gone out of my way to make certain that all candidates are here and comfortable and heard. I have made certain that people know that this is not a debate, that I am here to ask questions for you to get to know the candidates. We're not going to get into a shouting fight with each other tonight or at any of these other sessions. So at this point, as I said, the invitations have gone out, and that is my only responsibility. There are people who are both on the left and in the right in this town that like to say, church can't do something like this, that they are tax exempt and I need to call the IRS and tell the IRS that they need to have their tax exempt status removed. Well, friends, let me tell you, I went to college and I went to seminary and I learned about what I'm supposed to do so that I don't get my church into trouble. And what I'm supposed to do is give the invitation. It doesn't mean that both parties have to show up. It just means that the invitation has to go out. So, I will go ahead and announce here tonight that just before we got started, I received an email from the Republican campaign manager who said that she has received my invitations and that no Republican candidates will be participating in the Faith Exchange this year. And I am disappointed. I am disappointed because that calls into question my professionalism and who I am as a pastor in this town. What I also want to say is this. It just happens to be that I am the only person in this town who is putting in the work to allow you as the voters to get to know these candidates. And it just happens to be that I personally am a Democrat. If, hypothetically, and it's not currently happening, if there were a conservative pastor or other individual in this town who wanted to do similar work, my expectation is that the Democrat candidates would show up and sit and answer questions for those people. So, tonight, for whoever happens to be watching, I challenge the conservative clergy that are in this town to put together a faith exchange of your own and invite the Democrat candidates to come, because I expect that they have the fortitude to sit with you and answer questions. If there are Republican candidates who are watching tonight who want to show your fortitude above and beyond the party leadership, the campaign manager, and Kelly Himmler, the Republican town committee chair, who has not returned an email from me in a year. If you want to get in touch with me personally and say that you will come to one of my faith exchanges of your own accord, I would love to have you. And I promise that I will be fair and I will do my job with professionalism. If you don't know how to get in touch with me, my email address is greg@infielducc.org, or you can call the church at 860-745-3646. I believe that.